They thought she was just another woman in faded sneakers. The receptionist didn't even look up when she asked a question. The senior saleswoman glanced down at her outfit, offering a polite yet condescending smile. "Ma'am, maybe try the pre-owned lot across the street," she said. Not one person in that sparkling Los Angeles showroom realized they were talking down to the woman who owned the entire company. In less than an hour, every single one of them would regret it. Because Ava Collins wasn't just anyone, she was the founder and CEO of Collins Automotive Group, a luxury empire built from the ground up. That afternoon, she had come looking for something far more valuable than a new car. The truth. Ava stepped through the glass doors, her gray sweater soft with age, her worn sneakers squeaking lightly against the marble floor. No makeup, no designer handbag, no entourage, just her. She looked like a curious shopper, the kind who might wander in and admire a car without the means to buy it. But she wasn't here to be seen. She was here to see. "Sales are busy today," the receptionist muttered without looking up. "If you're just browsing, you can wait outside." "Outside?" Ava asked, her voice calm and curious. "Yes, ma'am," he said, still typing. "The lobby is for customers with appointments." Ava smiled faintly. She could have revealed herself immediately, watched fear ripple through their carefully rehearsed professionalism. But she didn't. She wanted to observe, to understand, to measure the pulse of the culture she had built. So she gave a nod and stepped further inside. The showroom was a cathedral of wealth. White marble floors, chrome details, soft jazz playing in the background, the scent of espresso mingling with leather seats. But beneath the shine, Ava could feel the rot. Arrogance had crept into the walls. Entitlement had taken root, and respect had been left out in the sun. A silver coupe caught her eye. One of her company's signature models, polished to perfection, a car her engineers had labored over for 2 years. Her fingers brushed over the sleek surface. Pride swelled within her for a fleeting second. "Please don't touch that!" A sharp voice cut through the air. Ava turned to see a woman in her 50s with a sharp bob, haircut and a gleaming name tag. Melissa Grant, senior sales consultant. Her eyes scanned Ava from head to toe, lingering just long enough to make a judgment. "Those are display models for serious buyers only," Melissa said. Her tone carried a practiced authority that barely hid insecurity. She smirked, adding, "If you're just browsing, the pre-owned lot across the street is more appropriate for you." Ava let the words linger. "Pre-owned," she repeated softly, almost amused. "Is that where I belong?" Melissa shrugged. "It's where most people start. We like to keep this area clear for well-qualified clients." Ava's lips curved into a faint smile. "Qualified," she echoed, tasting the word. She had built a brand on fairness and respect, yet here she was, dismissed by the very people she had trusted to uphold those values. Across the showroom, a man in a tailored navy suit entered. Immediately, the staff transformed. Smiles bloomed. Voices lifted. "Good afternoon, sir. Would you like champagne? Shall we show you the VIP models?" The entire atmosphere pivoted, revolving around the man like planets around a sun. Ava became invisible again, standing a few feet away. But anger wasn't what she felt. She had long ago let that burn out. What pressed against her chest was disappointment. She wanted to see everything, the favoritism, the hypocrisy, the arrogance, because the only way to fix a culture was to watch it fail in real time. Her phone buzzed in her pocket. Ava glanced at the screen. "Ethan Hayes, Regional Director." She pressed call. "Ethan," she said, her voice deliberate. "I need you here, now." She hung up before he could respond. 20 minutes passed. The suited man received attention, charm, and service that had been denied to Ava. Melissa laughed, poured sweetness over his every word, as if her career depended on it, which, in that moment, it did. Ava did nothing. She simply waited, calm and silent, letting the culture reveal itself in every glance, every gesture, every whispered conversation. Then came the sound of a deep engine rumble. Through the tinted glass, a black Bentley Flying Spur slid to a stop. The receptionist's head snapped up. Melissa." "Someone's here," he whispered. Ethan stepped out, adjusting his cufflinks, radiating authority. He walked past the suited customer, past Melissa, straight toward Ava. "Ms. Collins," he said, voice carrying just enough weight to silence the room. "Apologies for the delay." The staff froze. Melissa's practiced charm faltered. The suited man looked confused, unsure who deserved attention. Ava didn't move. She didn't need to. In the quiet, her presence was undeniable. Ethan turned to the group. "For those of you who don't know," he said, calm and precise, "this is Ms. Ava Collins, founder and CEO of Collins Automotive Group." The words hit like a hammer. Melissa's face went pale. The receptionist froze. Pens dropped to the floor. Every polished tile beneath their feet reflected the sudden weight of truth. Ava's voice broke the silence. "If you had known who I was, would you have treated me differently?" Melissa stammered. "Of course not, we just—" "Tell me, Melissa," Ava interrupted gently. "How did you decide I didn't belong?" Silence. The room felt smaller, every inch stripped of arrogance. Ava's gray sweater and worn sneakers didn't hide her authority. The respect she demanded wasn't in her appearance, it was in her presence. Blake, the receptionist, tried to speak, but Ethan's hand rose. "Don't," he said firmly. The suited customer, realizing the situation, mumbled, "I think I'll come back another time," and left. No one stopped him. Ava surveyed the showroom. Every gleaming car, every polished surface, every employee who had dismissed her. They were now confronted with the consequences of their choices. "This company was built on respect," Ava said softly. "Respect for the craft, respect for the customer, respect for people regardless of how they look when they walk through this door. Do you know what respect costs?" She paused, letting the words sink in. "Nothing. But when it's missing, it can cost you everything." The silence was suffocating. Ethan finally spoke. "Miss Collins, how would you like to proceed?" "I want names," she said. "Everyone who was part of this incident." Ethan pulled a small notebook from his pocket. "Already have them," he said. Melissa stepped forward, desperation creeping into her voice. "Please, Miss Collins, I've worked here for 12 years. I didn't mean—" "Intent doesn't undo impact," Ava said gently. "Arrogance doesn't represent this company. Not anymore." "Effective immediately," Ethan said firmly. "Everyone involved in this incident is terminated." Melissa gasped. Blake looked like he might faint. The younger staff stared at the floor. No one argued. No one dared. Ava exhaled slowly, tension leaving her body. The test had worked. It had exposed the rot before it spread. "Ethan," she said quietly, "make sure the rest of the team understands this isn't about punishment. It's about accountability." "Yes, ma'am," he replied. As Ava walked past them toward the exit, she stopped by the valet stand. Tommy, a young employee who had greeted her kindly when she arrived, stood at attention. "You handled yourself well today," she said, pulling a folded envelope from her purse. "Inside is a letter for HR, a scholarship to our management program. Use it well." Tommy blinked, speechless. "Thank you, ma'am." "You earned it," Ava said simply. Outside, the warm Los Angeles sun hit her face. Through the glass, she could see the aftermath. Shock, panic, realization. She didn't feel triumphant. She felt resolved. The truth, as her father had once said, doesn't hide forever. It just waits to be seen. Ethan followed her out. "That was intense," he said quietly. Ava looked up at the sky. It had to be done. Now we rebuild. No titles, no VIPs, no false charm. Just people who remember why we started. He nodded. "Your father would be proud." "He taught me what really matters," Ava said softly. "The truth doesn't hide. It just waits to be seen." And with that, Ava Collins walked away, leaving behind every polished tile, every arrogant gesture, and a showroom full of people who would never forget what they had learned that day.